This is Richard Ingram, and there's Tony Privatera, the podcast master, right over there. Lafayette was the nation's guest on the farewell tour 200 years ago, traveling across America. The week of September 30th, we are plagued with cynics, snarky debutantes of dark doubt. Optimists say things will get better, hopeful things can get better, and cynics, things won't get better. The cynic sees no hope, agrees with Thomas Hobbes that our nature is nasty, brutish, and short. But hope is a skill, says Jamil Zaki in Hope for Cynics, and it can be burnished by habits of mind and heart. Americans warmed to Lafayette not because of his looks, his wit, or his accent. He was an avatar of hope. 5 years a prisoner of state, partly in solitary confinement, all his lands confiscated by the state, his accounts tapped out, financially bankrupt, and yet he never lost hope. The morning after thousands of Philadelphians turned out to celebrate Lafayette's arrival, the mayor, all excited, the mayor of Philadelphia showed up to see Lafayette with police reports in hand. 120,000 people, the mayor said, 40,000 people from out of town, and there were no incidents. Nobody was hurt. The mayor said, "This is how people who govern themselves behave." Levasseur made the comment that had they had a similar event in Europe, it would have been marked by murder, thefts, and accidents of all kinds. Lafayette was in Philadelphia 8 days, and he stationed himself at Independence Hall. He received delegations from the Philadelphia Philosophical Society, the Library Society, the University of Pennsylvania. All ideas from the mind of Benjamin Franklin and his Republican public philosophy, Republican in the old Roman way, cultivate citizens who promote the common good, said Franklin. And Lafayette was pleased to meet an old friend, Francois Dubé-Martin, now 83 years old. Dubé-Martin was the one back in France when Lafayette was 19, who suggested to Lafayette that he, Lafayette, buy his own boat and just sail to America. You've got the wherewithal to do it, just buy it and we go to America. To which Lafayette replied, "Why not? Cour non." From that day forward, Lafayette took that as his motto, changed his coat of arms, cour non, why not? On October 3rd, Lafayette had occasion to weigh in on prison reform. He toured what was at the time the most modern and most expensive prison in the world, Eastern State Penitentiary on Fairmount Avenue. Its architecture had a hub and then spokes going out, 7 different spokes. But what was really unique about this penitentiary was not its architecture, but its philosophy, the Philadelphia system. The idea was a prisoner does not just spend time. A prisoner needs to be reformed. A prisoner needs to have time, undistracted moments to think about his misdeeds such that he can repent, from which comes penitentiary. So the way to accomplish that was solitary refinement. Make that solitary confinement. Lafayette had ideas about this. He was tactful and diplomatic about it, but recall, Lafayette had been in prison 5 years, a year of that in solitary confinement. Lafayette suggested that, number one, being around people is necessary to our nature, that the absence of other people is an invitation to madness. The only thing that sustained Lafayette during his time of solitary confinement was that whole attitude of hope. Second, solitary confinement did not reform. Lafayette was put in solitary confinement in an effort to extirpate from him that whole idea of liberty. Lafayette said it didn't work. That penitentiary still stands today. It's a tourist attraction. Interestingly, it got some notoriety in 1929. Al Capone was there, and Willie Sutton You remember you rob banks because that's where the money is. Willie Sutton, in fact, spent a year digging a 97-foot tunnel to escape from Eastern State Penitentiary. From there, Lafayette went on to Chester, Pennsylvania. This was where the Battle of Brandywine was, and Lafayette was taken to the very house where he had been taken after he'd been wounded on September the 11th and was attended by Washington's personal physician, Dr. John Cochran. And then from there on to Wilmington, Newcastle, Frenchtown, where he boarded the United States. Till next time.